Somalia's biggest threat to stability remains al-Shabaab. That's according to the UN Security Council's Committee on Sanctions in Somalia. The committee was speaking at a Security Council meeting where it also noted that the militant group's activities are majorly funded by taxing the production of charcoal. The Sanctions Committee, alongside AMISOM, recently discovered 25,000 black-firing pistols docked on a vessel in the port of Kismayo. Investigations are still underway to determine the origin and destination of those weapons. Also discussed during that meeting was the Somali famine and how to better distribute aid in the wake of violence by al-Shabaab. Let's get to you more on that meeting now. CGTN's Lorna Shadik joins us live from our New York studios. Lorna, what were some of the key concerns that came out of the Sanctions Committee meeting?
Well, this meeting was chaired by Kazakhstan. They are the chair of this particular Security Council Committee on Somalia and Eritrea. And they said that the committee had received notifications related to the arms embargo on Somalia specifically and is looking at the issue of sanctions violations and the actions of armed groups. And the monitoring group has reported concerns about the activities of al-Shabaab in particular. They say, as you mentioned, that they do remain the most pressing threat. And one particular instance that was mentioned was indeed the discovery of those 25,000 firing pistols that were found on a vessel in Kismayo. So there's now an ongoing investigation into that particular incident, including where they came from and what the potential destination was. But the US representative on the council urged Somalia to comply with the existing arms embargo measures and to make sure that they notified the council if they were going to use any exemptions. But several members didn't agree with that and were actually calling for changes to the existing sanctions. Russia in particular said that a loosening of the arms embargo would allow Somalia's armed forces to get the kind of materials that they might need. But then other members were saying, well, no, these sanctions are actually stopping armed terrorist groups like al-Shabaab from arming themselves further. So some disagreement on the council about the effectiveness and the need for the current arms embargo. But as well as all of that, there was also concern about the delivery of humanitarian aid and making sure that that does get through to where it is needed, as well as al-Shabaab's activities concerning the charcoal trade, as you say, its involvement in that, and illegal fishing and reported pirate attacks. So a great deal of concern still about activities in Somalia, but al-Shabaab and the arms embargo, two of the most pressing concerns.
So what more do we know, Lorna, about the proposed Sanctions Committee visit?
Well, yes, so one thing that was discussed was, given that disagreement between seemingly the US and Russia, but other members as well, about the effectiveness of that arms embargo, one thing that was discussed was the potential for a visit by the Sanctions Committee to Somalia and Eritrea as well, to see for themselves just how that arms embargo is working or not working in practice. There was a big stress on the need to see it themselves. The US said without engagement, though, from the government in Eritrea in particular, the Council just can't make an informed decision about whether this is working or not and whether the sanctions are working. Ethiopia spoke up on that. They said any trip that does happen will need to be free of preconceived ideas, as they put it, about the effectiveness of the sanctions. And the UK said that Eritrea's refusal to cooperate with the monitoring group meant there's no other way to verify whether or not Eritrea is supporting al-Shabaab and whether the sanctions are working, and therefore a visit is the best option going forward.
All right, Lorna Shadik live for us there in New York. Thank you, Lorna.